How's it going, fellow Titans? Welcome to a brand new Titans Season 3 video, and today's video is a bit of a fun video. I've noticed a lot of you have been commenting saying, Boba, when are you going to do another Titans video? Is there anything else? And today's video are teasers of Season 3, of which the social media pages for Titans have basically, well, done like kind of like an AMA and, well, teased some things that I definitely can weigh in quite a bit of an opinion on, and I would love for some of your feedback on what I'm about to say, maybe what you can take out from what they teased down in the comments below. So it's one of those, and also I want to dive into something else, something that Karen Walters teased, something that we've been talking about here on the channel for quite a while with this kind of larger DC, well, it's not DC Universe anymore, but larger branched out world, shall I say, of the Titans universe, and you will see what I mean when we get to that. So I recommend sticking around for this video, guys, if you want some dose of Titans information. That's why I'm making this video as well, because us Titans fans are starved of content, and yeah, believe it or not, we get quite a few teasers, including when our first teaser trailer is coming. But other than that, like this video if you do go on to enjoy it. I'd really appreciate that, and I just want to give a big shout out to my channel members and patrons who just really do help me do what I do on this channel. And yeah, let's begin at the beginning. I'm not going to go over every single one, but I do want to cater to one of the, maybe not everyone is after this answer, but I know lots of people on about like Netflix, or does this mean it's not on Netflix and stuff. So this user here asked, will we get Titan Season 3 on Netflix Brazil? And they say we will have an update soon. So just in case anyone is wondering that, I know not everyone is glued or may not even be aware of these teasers, and you may just be finding out about these teasers we're talking about in today's video through this video. So if you are from Brazil, apparently there's going to be an update soon. And just because it's on HBO Max, by the way, there was a lot of questions about this. That's like the American distribution, if that makes sense. Like HBO Max isn't really available. I think it's pretty much in America. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, for example, the reason why it's not in the UK, this is very infuriating, but there are such things known as VPNs and whatnot. Sky has a deal with HBO. They have a contract to distribute their shows, for example, in the UK, and that doesn't expire until a certain date. I think it's 2022 or 2023. Don't quote me on that, but just for a long story short, that is why we don't have the HBO Max app over here, because quite literally we can't have it over here until that expires, because up until then those shows are being distributed through Sky and their streaming service app known as Now TV, and it's probably a similar story in other places. But let's get on to the more juicy stuff. Now, as for when we're gonna get the first teaser or trailer. Now, this is kind of stuff we already knew, and I said in my Everything We Know in Titans Season 3 video, teaser this month, trailer later this summer. So, it's June. Titans comes out in August, so we've got July, August. What you can take out of this is, do you remember, maybe some of you don't, maybe I'm playing in the video right now, the first teaser we got for Season 2 was indeed a teaser, like an actual teaser trailer, then we got that full trailer, so very similar to that. The teaser trailer, do you remember, I think it opened up with like a bright white flash, and then that's when Ian Glenn's Bruce Wayne's, like the camera pans from his trousers up to his torso, he smiles, and then Dick Grayson smiles. But when we got the full trailer, there was a lot more to it than that, albeit that there was also more to that teaser than what I just said. So expect a similar teaser this month. For all I know, it could be coming next week to this week, but probably I think they're going to wait a little bit. But yeah, get hype, guys, as in like we are getting the teaser trailer any kind of day now. Maybe that's a bit premature to say, but it's June. Maybe they will wait until the 20-something of June, but then I wouldn't count necessarily on a July trailer. It's probably likely that we might get the full trailer around the 20-something of July as well, because Titans is releasing in August. But I also really wouldn't be surprised. Let's just say Titans airs August 15th or 16th, and we get the full trailer as usual, like a week to a week and a half before, which is what people question when it comes to the marketing. It's like, yeah, granted we're getting the teaser, but you kind of see what I mean by the criticism of many fans with that. So this next one makes me a little bit nervous to talk about. Just a little bit. Only because I know people are very passionate about relationships in fandom, whether that's Batcat and people go crazy about that, or, you know, Dick Grayson, Corey, because obviously a lot of fans want that to work out, like even me, like, but also there was information that we got about Barbara Gordon. But it's not going to be what I think people expect at the face value aspect of it. So let me just get into this. So somebody asked, are we getting DickKory content in Season 3? DickKory obviously being the ship name for Kory and Mr. Grayson. And they replied, oh, hell yes, with a twist. Now, what's my best guess at that? Well, what is one other thing that we know that maybe you watching this right now, you right there, have perhaps forgot about? I can't be accurate about this, but the only thing I can attribute it to, so when Barbara Gordon was cast, we got legit concrete information about a little bit of a premise for a character. So la-di-da-da, synopsis, when Dick Grayson, Brenton Thwaites, returns to Batman's hometown, he's reunited with Barbara, whose career as Batgirl ended when she was shot and paralyzed by the Joker. While Barbara has a combative relationship with Dick's mentor, Bruce Wayne, which I find really interesting, and I've rambled about that. Here we go. She and Dick end up rekindling their romance and starting a new crime-fighting partnership. So I think that says it all, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is the twist. So I don't want to put something out there that makes people think this is a fact. This is just a guess. I need to stress that. Maybe there will be a bit of flirtatious kind of, because there is a connection there with Kory and Dick Grayson, evidently. It's just not been capitalized upon other than those fleeting scenes that we got in Season 1. And I think lots of fans have wanted to see that, right? I think that will be capitalized upon potentially. This is really off the cuff, by the way, in Season 3. But when they move to Gotham, it will low-key rekindle that romance, as it canonically, literally, factually says there. But when they say rekindling the romance, by the way, and obviously they're going to form the new crime-fighting partnership because we got Red Hood running around the town, Scarecrow, that doesn't mean they're getting into a full-blown relationship. Do you know what I mean? It just might mean, oh, they used to have an old flame, they're rekindling that flame now, maybe a smooch or something like that, but then they realize, nah, and then maybe even Barbara advocates for Kory, saying, you know what, Dick, I'm happy for you. You should pursue her. So I don't think it will be full-blown relationship just because there's, romance doesn't mean relationship. Romance can just mean, well, these two characters have a past, Batgirl, Robin, they did stuff in the past, if you know what I mean, and then it rekindles a little bit. Maybe Kory gets a little bit low-key jealous about that, because that could be an interesting narrative, because there are low-key simmering feelings across the season. They're obviously compatible. I think we all took that out of it. Maybe Dick Grayson will come to the realization, and as I said, it'd be pretty dope if Barbara even thought, you know what, Dick, I think you should be with her. That is maybe the twist. That is a random YouTube BobaTalks Take Ship channel opinion of mine. I would love to know your thoughts, because obviously that was really off the cuff, but just wanted to mention it. So, any other cast and character announcements that we can look forward to before the trailer drops? Yes, 1 to 2 more. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Just because one thing people like to meme about is, oh, Titans has too many characters. Yeah, but you're not taking into the context. Why do people do that? I guess it's the world we live in. I'm not just saying then don't have any points, because that is a part of Titans history. The show, a lot of characters, a lot of undeveloped character. I'm not an idiot. I admit faults where there are some. So with this, I can imagine if this was big news, and maybe it will be when the reports release, like the press say, oh, this person's been cast now. It depends how big they are, I suppose. Since there's 2 more characters, who are they going to be? Because we have Scarecrow. And another thing, by the way, just because we get more characters doesn't mean they're going to be series regulars. They might be very minimal roles. Like, we might only see Scarecrow as much as we did Dr. Light. And was Dr. Light really a huge character? No, we can have characters like that, especially with either Hank or Dawn dipping out, probably, or something like that. But back onto the main point. Who could this be? I'm not going to be like, because some people are already, oh my god, Wally West, Roy Harper. I'm not going to say that. I mean, I would love that, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I'm really baffling my brain. We've got Tim Drake. I don't think they would tease 1 to 2 more if it was Tim Drake's mother. Maybe, could it be Joker? But even then, I'm very confident we're getting a Joker scene, all of that. But, I expect the actor to be stand-in, if that makes sense. As I always say, ambiguous like Season 1. We had Batman, we had Joker. We kind of saw them, but we didn't, if you know what I mean. That's what I've always kind of took it as, and they're going to try and do a really innovative, creative way with the restrictions they have, with the character embargoes that are in place, whilst doing the Red Hood origin, hopefully as much justice as they can, with the limitations hopefully understood by the audience. But yeah, I don't think a lot of people will understand because they'll be like, why didn't they do it properly? So honestly, guys, this baffles my brain. Maybe I'm just not thinking, maybe I'm like got too much tunnel vision right now, and it will likely occur to me some suggestions when I'm editing this video, but I'll leave this one down to you. Who do you think realistically, please dial it to realistic expectations, who do you think these 1 or 2 more unannounced announcements for character castings will be for season 3? Oh, maybe Lady Vic. Was that officially announced? I think it was leaked. Maybe that is it. Well, she's one of them, maybe. But anyway, moving on. Now, this one is interesting, guys. This will get some of you excited. And I think, you know, as I keep saying, I know this is their job. Obviously, they will say things like this, but season 3 is the best season yet, this, that, and the other, la-di-da-da. And I think it will be giving us a lot of typical things that I know some people will be like, oh, yeah, but we should have still got it in season 1 kind of approach, but whatever. Is there upgrade to our Titans powers this season? Will we see Kory fly? Raven being Raven? Gar transforming into more animals? Now, this is what I mean. This is stuff that I would have said like yes to, or like stuff we kind of would expect to happen anyway, and they say no comment. This season is full of surprises. We will revisit this discussion when the first 3 episodes air. So, read between the lines there. I think they're saying some, if not all of these things will be happening in the first 3 episodes. I can't guarantee that. So will we see Kory fly? What they're saying there is, first 3 episodes, you'll probably either see that. If not that, you'll see Raven being more Raven-like, that, you know, and Gar transforming into more animals. That's like a guarantee. That is a mother-fricking guarantee, because Gar, you know, Ryan Potter's character is this whole almost dramatic meme at this point. And he needs some justice. Hashtag justice for Gar. Oh yeah, and one more thing I almost forgot to mention. So, you know, and this is true to be fair to the response. They say, does Gar finally get a suit? And if you've been, you know, looking at the set photos, they say, ish, worth the wait. So, Gar basically gets like a new jacket, if that makes sense. It's not like a super suit, you know? It's just kind of like a, hey, like, Gar, you look kind of cool. It's basically still in line with what we've seen him wear before, but just, it's like getting the better brand version. You spend $200 more on the jacket than what you did previously, if you know what I mean. It's that kind of vibe. Now, this one piques my interest because this is, yeah, man, I love this character, you know, as one of Batman's Rogues Gallery members. But, oh, man, I love the Titans production and how they bring things to life. So the fact that we're getting Scarecrow with very little context to this Mr. Jonathan Crane we're getting this season. This is the question. Jonathan Crane will also be Scarecrow, maybe in flashbacks? And they say this is a storyline to pay attention to this season. Very ambiguous, but it just makes me think, like, well, maybe he's in Arkham and he escapes. Who really knows? But, like, yeah, are we getting Jonathan Crane? And I mean, we've had the casting, but there's no costume reveal. But at the same time, that doesn't mean we're not getting a Scarecrow in a costume. But at the same time, what I'm trying to tell you is I wouldn't be surprised if Titans does Jonathan Crane without the Scarecrow costume, still maybe releasing Fear Gas. Now, as to why that would be, I don't know. Because that would insinuate some kind of embargo for a full-on Scarecrow character, but they're letting Jonathan Crane be used. But I'm not, you know, aware of that character being embargoed. You know, because Joker and Batman obviously are. Obviously, they want those characters for the movies. If you want explanations into that, I'm not going to get into it in this video, but I think a lot of you understand character embargoes for TV versus movie and whatnot by now. So as for Scarecrow, that's one I'm just not too all much that aware of as to what or how they're handling him this season. My instincts tell me we're going to see a lot of Jonathan Crane. I think they could surprise us. Like this guy here, Jeffrey, says with this question, maybe we could get the costume in flashbacks, and then it would be really dope for them to, after seeing a lot of Jonathan Crane, after escaping Arkham or whatever, maybe then suits up in a moment where maybe all we thought we were going to get is Jonathan Crane in normal clothes or whatever, right? That would be really cool, like to make us think that we're not getting the Scarecrow crowning moment. But we do. But yeah, just I thought I'd chuck in that random discussion there because it's something I can't dive into as much because we don't know too much about Scarecrow, but I want to know more. Now, there's other interesting things that I didn't really expect to hear about. So it's like, when will you show up Nightwing's updated suit? I guess that's this user expecting an updated suit. And I think maybe there will be very minimalistic changes, like, I don't know, a thing where they want to attach the batons to, the sticks to even. So this is when they say we have a few things cooking to showcase Nightwing's super suit and weaponry. Maybe it'll be another suit kind of thing that LJ Super Suits did last year. For example, they unveiled the Nightwing suit and they had all the other suits there, like the Deathstroke suit, and they had some journalists there, I believe, to kind of, you know, be there on like first hand. So maybe it's going to be another thing where it comes to other suits this season and they're just going to showcase an updated suit. I wouldn't get too hopeful about this. These are very ambiguous answers, especially when it comes to these things. I expect the Nightwing suit to look the exact same, but as I said, maybe extra weaponry this season. You know, typical stuff of that of which Nightwing would use in the comics that we didn't really see him use at the end of last season, other than just his excrement sticks. So obviously, when it comes to this season, yeah, expect a lot. I mean, especially now we've got him as his own freaking title, Nightwing. You can expect a whole bunch more gadgets and whatnot from and I think maybe that's what they're getting at there. One other thing that I think fans have been a bit annoyed about in prior seasons, and I really do agree with this one, I think it's like a bit of an oversight, and I don't think it's even being nitpicky. It is just really questionable, and I'll get into that in a second. So is this season going to have a little heavier on the action than the last? And they're like, yes. So and by the way, I'm still a really big fan of the Titans fight scenes. Like the choreography, it still really does do it for me. Lots of people like to say it's too camera shaky, like shaky cam and whatnot. For example, the Deathstroke versus Robin suit. But I still think, look, I hate to do the comparison here, but it's still a lot better than you know, something like, you know, when the Flash runs in on the CW and you might get the slow thing and then the villain just runs around the side. I'm sorry, but when Deathstroke pierces Robin's shoulder and lifts him up with his freaking weapon in that fight scene in the church, how is that worse? It's just things like that. So I still love this stuff. But back to my main point, there's not enough action for a Titans show. I wholeheartedly agree with that criticism. And I know that was a narrative which is, you know, they stuck with, you know, this Titans show isn't necessarily maybe what some people would expect. Like, oh, Teen Titans show kind of thing, like on a cartoon kind of thing. They're just going out doing this and that, like Young Justice style, right? This was more about Robin leaving Batman, going on his own journey, this, that, and the other. You've seen the seasons. They come together by the end of season 2, finally insinuating that season 3 will be kind of the Young Justice-esque vibe that we've wanted. In a way, in a manner of speaking, because they've gone to Gotham now. I suspect, without getting into this too much, it's because Bruce kind of needs some time because of what happens. So I expect, yeah, as they're teasing here, more action. But what I was also teasing earlier is that, you know, for example, in season 2, when they were going after Dr. Light, they went without their suits. They were calling each other by their real names. It's just, that stuff baffles me. Just say Robin. It's not cheesy. Saying Dick is cheesy. Oh my God. I you know what I'm saying? But, you know, Dawn or Hank or like Donna, like, why are you saying that? This girl is Wonder Girl. Like, it's just, and I'm not even talking about that. You could argue that Stadium, who's going to hear it or whatever, but there were plenty more examples of things just like that in front of people where it's just like, for crying out loud, why? That is very understandable constructive criticism there. So this makes me happy. Maybe there is only, you could just say, oh, there's only 1 or 2 more fight scenes, and this is the social media account just saying, of course there's going to be more. And there might not be as much as maybe what we're expecting, especially with maybe this answer of yes giving us a bit of excitement. But I'd like to think that they've really, as they say, season 3 being the best season yet, I like to think that they've stepped it up in every way, shape, and form. And that really is the main meat of what was teased on the social media season 3 teasers. The other thing I just very briefly wanted to get into is Karen Waters teasing Red Hood and the Outlaws on his Twitter. Things like this happen all the time, and you may have, you know, through Karen Waters teasing it and whatnot. And also you may have heard me talk about how in the, you know, through the grapevine, and also the Vulcan reporter, Emre Kaya has also talked about this. It's like the kind of thing that is planned, but, you know, it's also like you never know. It can still like technically not happen if all of a sudden maybe Tim Drake's character isn't received as popular as maybe they would like. So for example, you know, there were talks of you know, Tim Drake possibly getting his own actual Teen Titans spin-off show and leading them, but that obviously that doesn't mean straight away. It means like, you know, he's introduced in season 3. I still wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even get a Robin costume, but in season 4 maybe that will be the segue for him actually getting that. And for example, Red Hood, if it's very, very popular through the grapevine, another show, Red Hood and the Outlaws, as seen by this tweet here. That doesn't prove anything, but it's just more affirmation, for example, of stuff that I and many other people have been hearing for quite some time. Now, don't get really impulsive, like, oh my god, they're doing this. That doesn't mean that. As I said, context, dial it back a little bit. They are laying down foundations, so to speak. Just like how there's a rumored Catwoman show, for example, spin-off from the Batman, and we know that they're trying to expand that universe across multiple platforms. That is almost a quote for what was said. Hence the Gotham PD show, for example, coming from the Batman. Similar thing here. It's not quite on that level. Catwoman isn't necessarily happening, but it's kind of, you know, if it goes that way. Same thing with this. They've got ideas. And I would say they're more along the stage, they're much further along the stage of just being an idea. But the green light isn't quite there yet. And that's why I'm saying it's not 100,000% happening, because it can always be dialed back a little bit if, you know, the waters that were tested aren't as juicy as they wanted it to be from the fans' perspective or something. So I just wanted to put that out there. You know, I don't have too much more to say other because I've spoke about this stuff briefly before, like all the possibility of a Teen Titans show, making a Titans show restructured with fewer characters, maybe the older characters, hence obviously the Teen Titans like Gar, maybe not Gar if Ryan Potter wants nothing to do with it, who knows, but Raven, etc., going with Tim Drake. You get the idea. You really do get the idea. And Red Hood and the Outlaws, similar kind of thing. Who knows, maybe you could get characters that you wanted to see, and they're like Roy Harper being with Red Hood in his own show, Curran's own show. So there's all those things to consider. I just wanted to spit that out there as a little bit of additional teasers. But that is the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't like, oh my god, a trailer breakdown, but as far as Titans news goes, there are some set photos. I may go over some of those photos in another video, but it's the kind of thing where it's like, cool, we're seeing Blackfire in a suit, Starfire, Raven's new look, and we've seen that before. I can't exactly tell you for sure what's happening in that scene, so other than us just seeing photos from afar of technically not even good shots, as they're not like HD right up close as I am to you, there's not too much to say. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit like, maybe share it with fellow other Titans friends who you may think enjoy this video. That goes so much more beyond than what you think in terms of helping this channel. But even at the very least, a like, a comment. I love reading all your thoughts. And if you got to this point in the video, I'd really appreciate it if you proved it, maybe, along with whatever comment you put, because you guys are the real ones who really sat through this much of the video. By putting in your comment the hashtag Jonathan Crane is smelling propane. I know, they just come from the top of my head. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you fellow Titans in the next video. Goodbye.